products because this is where our money is coming from. This is our cash flow. And so in order to totally overhaul their company, it's going to, you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to figure out how much of this is conscious and unconscious.
I don't think the vast majority of the population, including the mid and upper level management, has any idea what's going on. And only in the major corporations like with Monsanto and all these guys. But you got to remember, a lot of these big bankers and a lot of these big companies, these guys, when they start figuring out what's going on, they suddenly die from suicide, or they hang themselves, or they mysteriously disappear. I mean, all this other kind of crazy stuff. So apparently when they start growing consciousness, they don't want to be kept around. Because you got to remember who owns the corporations. Through the interlocking corporate directorships.
Well, I know that over 50% of the corporations are owned by the banking industry.
That's right. Well, this is exactly what happened.
Well, 100%. Most of them are over 50% owned. That's what I meant to say.
Well, when you can print money, out of nothing, and you can basically distribute it to your banks and not have any recourse from the government, and when you put under audit, when Ron Paul put the Federal Reserve under audit, and he asked where over $10 trillion went that they printed in their off-book balance sheets, Bernanke refused to answer. He said he didn't know. He said it went to banks. Okay, well, the banks turned around and they were able to buy up the stock markets. And that's what's happened. That's why we have so many mergers and acquisitions right now. Of course, everybody knows this. I mean, it's not, and the higher end people all know this. And the problem is the workers don't have any idea what's going on as far as the lower end management and the lower end workers or the blue collars, because all they want to do is get their paycheck every day, Sarah, and they want to make sure that
they're just trying to survive and have a family.
That's right.
And trying to live. Right. But did you notice that there was $9.3 trillion that were undocumented adjustments on the military budget that they just came out in this summer?
Well, those deep underground military bases are expensive, Sarah.
Well, you just wonder how does that come? How can they have $9.3 trillion in 1 year and nobody questions it? Because understand that.
These are black ops. These are black ops. The Congress doesn't.
Yeah,
get
but
$9.3
trillion it's like 9 times the size of our budget. How can you not question that? I don't understand.
That's another show, Sarah. But yes, I can go into detail on who really runs the government. How the government's being controlled. I mean, we can cover all of those topics at a later date if you'd like, because I know we're out of time.
Yeah, we are. So, you know what? Thank you so much for coming, and I really appreciate you joining us. And I do want to link to the rest of the top 10 list because we got sidetracked a lot, and that's okay. It was very interesting.
Well, just link to healthmasters.com, and that'll take you to our shows and our talk shows and all that, and we cover all of that stuff, and it's a lot of fun to do the shows every day, and it's a big responsibility because you really have to be prepared. You got to make sure the news is pretty right, and the problem is most of the news that people are listening to on the mainstream media right now are just a bunch of obfuscated lies.
Yeah, they're not giving. It's a lot of surface stuff, I think, too.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right, it is.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, and I really appreciate it. And you have a great day.
Thanks so much, Sarah.
And that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed that interview that I had with Dr. Chad Breuer. Obviously, we did not get to all 10 foods that he thinks that we should avoid. So I will have on my website at sarahwestall.com a link for you so you can get more of that information directly from him. And I definitely will have him back if people show the interest. Do some comments, tell me what you think, and hopefully we will have him back in the future. I think there's so many things to talk about on this front. So for now, I hope everybody has a wonderful day.
You've been listening to Business Game Changers with host Sarah Westall. Tune in each Monday at noon Pacific, 3 Eastern, as Sarah brings you leading experts, visionaries, and newsmakers who provide the best commentary on big issues and cutting-edge innovations. Sarah's 20 years as a business executive will help you think like an entrepreneur with expertise, energy, and attitude. Tune in Mondays at 12 noon Pacific Time and learn more about Sarah at sarahwestall.com today.